morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, and welcome back to MaxCubeGaming News. And guys, we are very, very close from hitting our first goal of 500 subscribers on YouTube. I think we're currently at 480, so 20 left, and the Elite Custom Trainer Box will be given to a random winner. So I do appreciate everyone who has contributed on my journey to hit these milestones. This week in the gaming news, we're talking about pretty much lots of IPs being shut down, either in the PC console format or the mobile format. And we'll be talking about Activision Blizzard having to pay up yet again. This is the gaming news. Let's begin. Alright, so this is from VideoGameChronicles.com. The first game to go in this week is Knockout City, you guys. Knockout City live service will be going down in June. Valiant Studios, which also made Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, is shifting to focus to new projects, guys. And this is pretty much a game that had promise. It had its moments where it did have a fan base. It kind of had its traditional PvP battle royale aspect, but it seemed like it didn't click. The cross-platform dodgeball game was released in May 2021 under EA's Originals, published by the label before Van, which is another developer. As we stated before, Mario Kart Live took over the publishing duties and made it free to play last year. So this is the newest update, launching on February 28th, the last final season, which is season 9, will kick off with the release of its final planned update. All money and transactions will be removed from the game on this date, and the season will last for 12 weeks until the game shuts down for good, June 6th. A standalone host version of the game for PC gamers, so that players can continue to play on their own dedicated servers. And there's a quote coming from the developer: creating such a different game with no points in comparison to a running live services for the first time in many of our careers has also made the past months particularly challenging, the studio said in a blog post announcing the game's up and coming closure. And yeah, it did have a fan base, 12 million players, lots of good events. Let's watch the last update for Knockout City.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm the game director of Knockout City. We were hoping to pair this message with details about Season 9, but it seems like the cat's out of the bag. So let's talk a bit about the overall state of the game as we get closer to the end of our second year. Velen Studios' roots are grounded in innovation. That's the goal of the company, to create innovative, fun new experiences for communities of players. Knockout City's development started with a small dev team, passionate about this wild idea of making a shooter with dodgeballs, focused on simple mechanics like throwing and catching that no engine could actually support over the internet, requiring us to make an entirely new one from scratch. The team has grown a lot since then, and looking back at the critical acclaim we had at launch, the millions of players, the billions of KOs, the dozens of exciting game modes, all the seasons of great content ranging from aliens invading the city to a game of cat and mouse between a criminal crew and the person chasing them. I feel immensely proud of Velen Studios and everything the Knockout City team has accomplished. After almost 20 years in the industry, this is honestly my favorite game I've ever worked on. And like many of you in our community, it's also one of my favorite games I've ever played, which I continue to do almost every night after work. These past 2 years of Knockout City being alive, talking to the community, and trying new things in the game has been an immensely rewarding experience, but also a tough one. I
dark side
personally
of
learned
being a
more about game
game
development the last
development.
2 years than in the 10 before that.
It
The same goes for
it
many
doesn't
of the
always
people here
succeed.
at Velen. However, one thing that we've continued to struggle with, even after going free to play, is retaining enough of the millions of new users coming in to keep the game active and sustainable. The truth is, it's been extremely difficult for our small studio to make the kind of changes necessary to bring back a larger audience in a game that's live and needs continuous support. So the time has come for Velen Studios to take a step back, take a fresh approach, and do what we do best by innovating. After very careful consideration, and as you might have already heard, we're announcing that Season 9 will be Knockout City's final season. And shortly after, on June 6, 2023, the servers will be shut down, and the live game will no longer be playable. This was an extremely difficult decision for us. We love Knockout City. We've done nothing but eat, sleep, and breathe dodgeballs, ultimate throws, and deep space dispatches for years. We've been right there alongside our amazing community of players. From the heartwarming fan art, to the deep theories on the lore, to the emergent techniques and strategies that made their way to the top ranks of league play and the lightning-fast tournaments. So we know what this decision means for all of us. But this allows us to take everything we've learned and use it to explore more innovative changes and ideas for Knockout City and other new projects, working on solving a lot of the challenges we're facing today in the live game. Anything could happen there, and this isn't a promise that Knockout City will be back.
Interesting.
But what I can promise is that you'll continue to see new and innovative games from Velen Studios that will surprise and delight players around the world. Despite this news, this is Knockout City, baby.
All right. So yeah, so that's pretty much the devs announcing the fact that this game is pretty much dead in the waters, and moving forward, it's going to be just private based. What are your thoughts on this? You know, it's sad when a game that has a fan base and that people work hard on goes down. It's common, you know, and not every game succeeds, especially indie games, even though they are subbed contracted by EA as an EA Originals, even though it was taken over by this particular company. Looks like EA just like, you know, told them to pull the plug. They're not getting supported by them, and it is what it is. Let me know in the comments below if you did play Knockout City and what's your thoughts on it pretty much going down. Let's move forward to yet another couple games service being shut down as by IGN, Apex Legend and Battlefield Mobile are shutting down, you guys. That is 3 EA games being shut down around this period. 3 of them. You know, EA is not having a good tracking at the moment, especially the fact they're going to be struggling when it comes to the FIFA, their money grabbing franchise FIFA, no longer being called FIFA. They are going to have to be called Soccer FC, some type of football club simulator. I forgot what it was going to be called, but I think it's EAFC. And yeah, they are looking grim for how powerful EA is. Situations like this where the mobile market is extremely big and it has so much opportunities, and for them to fail, it just shows that, you know, it's quantity over quality. And like the article states, Electronic Arts announced that both their Apex Legends Mobile and Battlefield Mobile are shutting down. Apex Legends Mobile will sunset May 1st, 2023 at 4 p.m. Pacific time. After that, the game will no longer be playable. There will no longer be updates provided for Battlefield Mobile, but EA said it will cease development. Industry's toy and the studio behind Battlefield Mobile is also shutting down along together. So another studio bites the dust. Here's a statement from EA, and I quote, "Despite Apex Mobile's strong start, the ongoing experience was not going to meet the expectations of our players," explains EA. "After months of working with our development partner, we have made the mutual decision to sunset the mobile game." End quote. And yeah, you guys, the CEO of EA, Andrew Wilson, offered an additional sentence in his remarks that speaks the future of Apex. We've connected to learn a great deal from Apex Legends Mobile and have planned to re-image and connected the experience of Apex in the future. So this is Respawn indicating we have made the decision to sunset Apex Legends Mobile. We sure you have a lot of questions. For more information on where things are currently, obviously their FAQ, and yeah, here's the article on Twitter. The decision could not come with ease. The factors beyond our control have prevented us from maintaining the high quality experience and content that our players deserve. As a result, the game will sunset on May 1st, 2023 at 4 p.m. Eastern, Pacific Standard Time, after which it will no longer be playable. Our gratitude to our players and teams for joining us on Apex Legends Mobile, even if it's for a short period of time. It's unending. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. That is from Respawn Entertainment. And yeah, you guys, it's another company going down the drain. Not another company, but another set of IPs, particularly in the mobile aspect from EA, going down the drain. And yeah, with Apex currently still thriving, the regular PC version of it. Did you play Apex Legend? You know, there is a demand for mobile shooters. Call of Duty Mobile is a great example. It's thriving. So is Fortnite. They're thriving. What is their excuse? Let me know in the comments below. And last, Activision Blizzard has been told to pay up yet again, as by The Verge, Activision Blizzard to pay $35 million to the SEC via penalties. The SEC found that Activision did not have the proper workplace disclosure procedures in place while also violating an SEC whistleblower rule. It just keeps getting worse. An Insurance and Exchange Commission probe into Activision Blizzard has concluded with the company paying a $35 million penalty. At the heart of the probe were charges that Activision Blizzard did not have the procedures in place that allowed it to document employee workplace misconduct complaints. As a result of this incompetency, Activision Blizzard could not, and therefore, determine if a misconduct problem was severe enough to warrant a shareholder disclose. And additionally, the SEC found that the wording in the company's separation agreements with the violation of a SEC whistleblower protection rule requiring former employers to notify the company if they received a request for information from the commission or other investigative bodies like the NLRB, and it's pretty much why they're being fined. The statement by The Verge indicates that Activision Blizzard spokesperson Joe Christensen shares sections of the SEC's finding, pointing out that the commission did not find any evidence Activision Blizzard enforced the notification clause. And I quote, "We are pleased to have an competency resolved to this matter," Christensen told The Verge over an email, as, and I quote, "as the order recognizes we have enhanced our disclosure process with regarding to the workplace reporting and updating our separations contracts language," end quote. The article ends up saying that this finding allows Activision Blizzard to pay $35 million penalties without admitting or declining the SEC's finding. Whistleblowing is something that it is protected under law. It's a form of freedom of speech and freedom of press. And for a company like Activision Blizzard to not update their policies to protect their employees or former employees about activities that have occurred within their company, and not notify their shareholders of what's going on to prevent shareholders from holding their stocks and then obviously taking the loss, does affect the business as a whole. It's technically a conflict of interest. It just shows that Activision Blizzard as a whole, as a company, just keeps going down this slope of fines after fines after fines over the California law commissions, the SECs, the California laws of I think it's the employee section of the, yeah, I think it's the section of employees pretty much relating to the sexual harassment and all these accusations that they suffered around the 2020s, 2021s, 2022s. It just shows that this company just keeps going down the hole. And I think it's a good idea for Bobby, the CEO, to just fold, and that Microsoft just takes it. You know, obviously we know that the EU are calling it a monopoly, and there's so many anti-lawsuits that's preventing it from the sale to be completed. But I honestly feel like Microsoft should take over this company and re-establish it to the promised land where it does belong. And hopefully moving forward, Blizzard as a whole, as a company, Activision Blizzard as a whole, as a company, could rinse themselves from these bad publicities that just keep coming up, because I honestly feel like Blizzard does have such a huge library of iconic games with such a huge fan base that would want to come back to a new Blizzard that doesn't have all these issues. So what are your comments? What are your thoughts about all of this? Do you think this is not the end for Activision Blizzard being sued left and right and having to pay? Or do you think that they're turning a new leaf? Do you think that Microsoft should own this company and not be considered a monopoly? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, you guys, this is it for the gaming news for this week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Share and subscribe, as if you subscribe, you end up getting a prize. Free Pokemon cards or magic cards of your choosing randomly will be shipped directly to you. All you gotta do is DM me and follow me on Instagram, MaxCubeGaming, to get your prize. And once we hit 500s, I will be doing that Elite Trainer Box giveaway. So with that being said, thank you so much for everyone who's contributed, who assisted, who's watched this video, who's spread it, who's commented, who's liked. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the other side. Cheers.